Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. You and I are not very different from this flower. We all are unique. We all are unique in different way. We have own quality, own thought, own point of view. And this own thought, own point of view and own quality is look like every leaf. There is a lot of leaf in a flower. So look like a lot of combination of quality we have. The more quality we have, the more compensation we will get in your life. So in your daily life, in corporate life or job life, the more quality, the more thought, the more perception, the more training we have, the more compensation we will get. Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Nahid Hassan. Today I am here to tell you about every point of view of compensation. And after that, my group member also can told about a lot of company compensation, what they really follow in their daily basis, and compensation they will describe in point by point. So let's start. We have a plan to give it in classroom, but unfortunately because of some problem we give it in video. So thank you ma'am for giving us the opportunity. We start the point of view, the thought and all the ins and outs of compensation. So first we need to look back to the history, what really happened in the history of compensation. First we know that barter system start given and taken equally. After that we see worker compensation will start in Germany in 80s. In Germany they follow take care of injured people. When any employee or any worker injured, they can take care themselves as a compensation, and they also give physical and financial help for the employee and betterment of their future. After that, it became common in USA in 1930s and 1940s. The compensation become common. In this 21st century, we cannot imagine an organization without compensation, because compensation is a key of work and productivity in this 21st century. So first we need to understand what is really compensation and how it really works. And what is compensation? Compensation is really total reward of exchange service and performance an employee individual doing for the company's growth and as a work. So it's really direct and indirect pay. Not only salary and wages is a compensation. Compensation is really a combination of a lot of things. First we understand what is really salary. Salary is really a regular wages, weekly or monthly, paid by a organization for an individual employee. So what is really wages? Wages is really remuneration on hourly or extra work. So we know the pathetic story is that nowadays is most of the organization of Bangladesh has no security or concern about health issues. So we saw the Savard tragedy earlier. So companies bind their employee with salary, wages and some portion of bonus. This is really a common scenario in Bangladesh, which is really pathetic for us. But some organizations, they really follow the standard of compensation, and compensation itself is a strategic tool. If we see the wages, salary, benefits, direct financial reward, security and award, all things accumulation, all total things is called compensation, and it's really create a positive vibe for the employee. If a boss told his employee, well done, you are really great and you do a tremendous job, the employee feels satisfaction in his heart and he start the work with really twice and work harder for himself and also for the organization, because he is considered and given a compensation for his extra work. Now we look back at the importance of compensation. If we see organization have some specific goal, if organization try to establish their goal, they must need to give the well compensation to the employee, and also attract and retain productive workforce. If you want to be attract and keep the best employee in your organization, you must treat them treat them in extra and treat them in excellent way. And the compensation is a strategy. If the more compensation you will give, the more benefit you will provide, the positive and the productive employee feel positive, and he will remain in your organization. And keep the best employee and compete in the market, because the more compensation you will get. If you look back the Grameen phone, what can this really do? They give extra thing. They give a lot of extra compensation to the employee, and the employee feel better. That's why they work harder and makes the organization better in everywhere in the globe of the market. And the motivating talent for better performance. The more compensation you will give, the talent people will think they will give more for their organization. And also the cost effectiveness is very important, because the organization think where they invest. If they see the right employee and the talented person, they give more to this person. So now we will see the compensation system, how it really works. There is a direct compensation, which is really related base pay and also incentive pay. These two types of things is direct compensation, which is related with salary, and bonus, commission, profit sharing, stock option. These all are related really direct compensation. And there is another thing, that is indirect compensation. Indirect compensation means it's really legally required or optional things. If we saw the legally required thing, that is security, insurance, and medical leave. If an employee get these things, they will think the company really consider them as a friend, and they work better for the improvement for the organization. And indirect compensation is holiday, vacation, and passion. If a employee get holidays for spend time with his family, they will feel better and they more work for the organization. So the last thing I will describe, which is thing equity theory. Equity is the main theme of compensation. If equity doesn't follow in properly, then it really dissatisfies the employee. If you just imagine, if a employee can give the inputs, loyalty, hard work, and commitment, he work best for the organization. If equity is fair, if there is fair balance to the organization, and output is that he give the loyalty, that's why he get the best salary. He give hard work, that's why he get the most benefit. If he was a commitment, that's why he get recognition and achievement. So when a employee see he work smart, work enough, and work with efficiency, and he rewarded by the organization, he will work more. But if he see the equity theory is not properly, he is not rewarded, but there is a lot of corruption in the organization, then he will be demotivated. There is another point of view and a lot of discussion with the company that will describe by other members. That's from all of my part. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Hi ma'am, this is Piyush Karmakar. First of all, I want to give you thank you for the opportunity that you give us the chance to give you the video presentation at the time. And as you know, this was the unavoidable situation as we protest for the safe route, and we made some. This was the unavoidable situation that we can't attend at this time, and now you give us the opportunity, and we are cordially glad to you. Now let's back to the point of our presentation. My part is benefits, incentives, and motivation and recognition. Benefits and incentives is the part which is given by the organization to the employee, and motivation and recognition is the part the employee feel after getting these benefits and incentives from the organization. And benefits consist of profit sharing, bonus, and stock option. Bonus is the element which is measured by performance appraisal, and those employees get this bonus who make their sign at the best performer of the year for this company, and the employer shares some proportion of profit or profit to the employee according to their base pay. And incentive stock sorry this part is profit sharing. Profit sharing is the part when employer committed to the employee to give them the some proportion of profit to them for their performance, and if they make the product profitable. As we know, Sundar Pichai, who is the CEO of Google at this time, he when he was vice president of product development of Alphabet, he insist his director to make a browser of Google Chrome to compete with Mozilla Firefox and Internet Explorer. At that time, the director of Alphabet didn't agree with him to make a browser because it was so costly. But Sundar Pichai make them insist them to do this and finalize a deal to that if they make the Chrome profitable, they will get some profit sharing. And the director of Alphabet agreed with the deal. And now we know, all of you know that Google Chrome is the best browser for internet security as well as the comfortableness of users. And the last part is profit stock option. And as I want to give the same example of Sundar Pichai. When he was vice president of product development, he got $99.98 million as stock option at 2015. And when he became the CEO of Google, and in 2016 he got roughly doubled of his 2015's stock option. Like he got 198.97 million as stock option in 2016. That's the stock option which give the employee the recognition of ownership, which make them motivated. And the benefits are supplemental pay, insurance benefits, retirement benefits, and employee service. Supplemental pay is when, as we know, many of the employees are women, and they get some maternity leave. At that time, some organization give them as usual pay of their monthly pay to give the women employee at that time. And insurance benefits. And many of the organization give the employees some proportion of basic pay, like 5% or 6% of basic pay, to give them the insurance benefits to if they get some health uninsurance or any accident by accident, they can use the insurance premium for according to their basic pay. And the retirement benefits is most important. As we know, in our countries such as Bangladesh, or public organization give their employees pension pay scale, but in the private sector don't give them the retirement benefit, but they give them gratuity, or we can say provident fund. Provident fund is the proper elements is which is measured by some proportion of employees basic pay and as equal contributed by the employee, such as in recent footwear limited, the employee get 10% of basic pay as provident fund for their retirement payment, and same equal contributed by the employer. And another is employee service. Employee service is if the employee retired after retirement, if he want to use the organization any asset, they can use the organization give them the permission to give the uh, to use the assets. And the last part is motivation and recognition. Motivation and recognition, when the or employees get the benefits and incentives, they get some feelings of recognition, like when after getting stock option or profit sharing, the employees get motivated to do more, and they serve the best level of their efficiency and effectiveness to give the organization the best level of profit. And there is job satisfaction. At that job satisfaction is the part is when organization give them the benefits and incentives, get the best they get the best satisfaction from their job, and they like to love their job and do the job from their heart, cordially, heart and soul. That's all of my part, and the next part will be presented by my fellow members.
Assalamu alaikum, ma'am. This is Farzana Furid Lima. As this situation is not going well, we have to make this video presentation. I think this video presentation will help us to experience a new type of method. So let's get started. I have selected Care Group of Bangladesh to cover all my topics related to compensation. Recently, I have visited Care Group's head office situated at Navana Tower in Gulshan 1. There, I have met an amazing HR officer of Care Group who helped me by giving all the necessary informations related to compensation system, its managing package, its process, etc. So at first, one more information that I have attached a photo when I went to the Care Group's head office in my slide also. So at first I want to enlighten on the topic of compensation system of Care Group. So at first we have to know what is a compensation system called. Actually, it is the sum total of all kinds of monetary and non-monetary benefits provided to its employees in exchange of their work. I have found that there are three kinds of compensation system available in Care Group. The first one is direct financial compensation. It is a monetary compensation system such as salaries, which is given every month. And another one is compensation, which is given on the basis of the group's profits, and another one is performance-based compensation. Generally, the performance-based compensation is given to such employees who have high performance. Like in Care Group, the group organize a performance appraisal every year. Generally, it happens at the end of the year. From the performance appraisal system, they select one or two best employees and give them compensation, direct financial compensation. And the second compensation system I have found in Care Group is the indirect financial compensation. It includes compensation that doesn't related to direct financial compensations such as health or life insurance or services provided to their employees. Like I have seen by myself that there is transportation facilities for their employees, and also I got to know from that amazing HR officer that they have their an individual own policy in which that if any permanent employee of Care Group are going through any kind of disease and have to do an operation, then if he or she want to avail the compensation opportunity, he or she has to give an application to the HR department, and the HR department will discuss among them, and they give appropriate amount of compensation to that employee. Next, the third compensation system I have found available in Care Group is non-financial compensation. it doesn't have any economic value or benefits. Mainly, it involves the satisfaction of an employees, which can be gotten from the organization. So this is all about my part. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving me the second opportunity. Myself, Shahada Hussain, and today I will cover job evaluation method and strategic implementation of compensation. There are four job evaluation methods. First one, job ranking, factor comparison, and third one is job classification. And last one is point method. Now I am going to talk about comparison of positive and negative sides between those methods. In job ranking, it is very simple, inexpensive, easy to understand, but it is not useful in large organizations because it is random and very much subjective. And second one is factor comparison. It defines compensable factors and evaluate jobs on those factors related to other jobs, but it is aids of employees' comprehension. And third one is job classification. This method applied to large number of varied jobs. It is easy to understand and very much flexible, but it is in detail and time consuming to develop. And last one is point method. Point method is very simple to understand and administer, but it is extremely time consuming to develop. Lack of universal applicability of compensable factors. So those are the comparisons between those methods. Now I'm going to talk about strategic implementation of compensation. There are many types of strategic implementation of compensation. First one is market analysis. Organization has to determine compensation related to market. If organization pay less than market price, they cannot retain or gain potential employee for their organization. And second one is team versus individual pay. An organization should decide which one they will pick, team pay or individual pay. If organization need more teamwork, they have to pick team pay rather than individual pay. If organization need individual activities, so in this section they have to select individual pay. And third one is make balance between fixed and variable pay. Organization have to make a balance between fixed and variable pay. Organization should select fixed and variable pay according to the organizational situation. And fourth one is financial and non-financial pay. With many financial pay, employee also needs some non-financial pay to their satisfaction. Sometimes they need non-financial pay to commit to the organization. And last one is cost-effective compensation. Organization have to cope with the situation. Through job analysis, evaluation of job method, and the situation of organization, compensation policy must be in cost-effective way, and that result will be high performance. So that's all from me. Thank you, ma'am.
After a lot of discussion, it is really tough to say which organization is best, because every organization there is some strategy for their compensation. So it is really tough to consider who is the best. But recently I talked with an employee. He became the best employee of the year 2017. He told me after getting the trophy, he feels special and he feel that he is really honorable employee on the office. And after getting the award, he feels special. So as a HR manager or as a boss of any organization, we must need to think some point. And there is a quotation, a famous quotation, that our asset walk out of the door each evening. We have to make sure that they come back the next morning. So every day, each evening, every employee left the office. But the organization, the boss, the manager must treat them as an asset, because the next day they feel special and they will come to the next morning. Why? Because they feel they are better than something, and they are not only employee, they are really the co-worker to the organization. The main strategy we must need to feel feel them special. If we treat them special, if we think this employee is special, they will come back with smiling face and work with efficiency, and the organization environment will be changed, and then organization will be changed, and everything became productive, and the quality must increasing. So the compensation is most important thing, and must need to make the priority of this compensation. Then the organization became a successful organization, the employee became a successful employee in the globe and in the whole world. Thank you.